How's it going, guys? JP back at you once again with another installment of 7 Days of Horror, where I take 7 horror films and watch and review them in 7 days. All of the films have kind of a common theme, and this time the theme is a return to foreign horror. We're going to be talking about foreign horror for 7 days. This is day 1, and before we start, I want to give a big, huge shout out to Zach, aka Movie Collector 616. Thank you for hooking me up with the intro, and you can find his link in the description below. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. With that said, let's hop into day number 1, where we will be reviewing High Tension. High Tension, from the year 2003, with the tagline of "Hearts Will Bleed." This film comes to us out of the country of France. It was directed by Alexander Aja, who did films like P2, which I thought was a pretty cool Christmas-style horror film, Mirrors, which I really didn't care for at all, and my personal favorite, The Hills Have Eyes remake, which I liked very, very much. Before I get into this review, I do want to put up a little disclaimer that I will be spoiling this film towards the end of the review. I will give a fair warning. I want to talk about the ending. I normally don't spoil films, but I think to really get my opinions across on this film, I kind of have to talk about the ending a bit. So with that said, be warned, I don't want you to watch this review if you have not seen this film, because I do recommend you check this film out. It's pretty good. So with that said, let's jump into the review. The setup of this film, we have Marie and Alexa. They are traveling to Alexa's parents' house. They're kind of preparing for their exams, their college exams, and they want a quiet, secluded place to prepare. This is a farmhouse kind of out in the middle of nowhere. They eventually get there, and we are, Marie's kind of introduced to the family, the mother, the father, the little brother, and they're kind of unwinding for the night. Then a man in a truck pulls up, and the truck kind of reminded me of the Creepers truck from Jeepers Creepers. It was really creepy, weird looking truck. And he knocks on the door, basically home invades, and pretty much the film gets, crazy from there. It's very well paced, this film. I think that there's, always something happening. It's really tense. High Tension is a great title for this film. There's a lot of very tense scenes. I thought that the killer was fantastic. The look of him, he just looked like this old, creepy, nasty looking guy who looked like he might be a truck driver for a living. He kind of had that look to him, like a nasty truck driver type guy. I will say that right away you can kind of tell that maybe Marie, I don't know if it was just the short hair or the way that she kind of looked at Alexa, but you kind of get a sense that she might, like her more than just as friends. And this film, I don't really know where I want to start. I'll just pick out a few things that I really liked. I love there's this one scene that is just, has you on the edge of your seat. There's a scene where a character is doused in flammable liquid, and the truck driver, killer looking guy, is holding a match close to her, and you're kind of just wondering what's going to happen, and you're waiting to see what's going to happen. And I thought that scene was really effective and just brutal. And this film it has a very brutalness to it. It does not, it does not shy away from anything. It does whatever it wants to do. There's one character death in particular that I found was really effective in making you just feel bad. Like the scene was directed well, because you don't see anything happen, but later it's kind of revealed and your thoughts come to be true, and it just works really well. It's a scene, those of you who've seen it, it's the death out in the cornfield. This film really just does not make excuses. It's unapologetic. It is willing to go in all sorts of areas and do all sorts of things. I really did enjoy this one a lot, and now I'm going to kind of get into the spoiler territory, so if you have not seen this film and you want to remain spoiler free, you can click off this video. So the ending of the film, we find out that our lead character is actually the killer. She is kind of a double personality type thing, and immediately some red flags fly up, because you're thinking, there's scenes where that couldn't have worked. She's here, and you know, somebody's dying here. That just does not make sense. We're you know, two places at once just cannot happen. But I started thinking about it a little bit more, and because the film is bookended by kind of a flashback scene, to where we're seeing this story from a almost like a flashback. I think that instead of seeing everything happen through our lead character's eyes, we're actually seeing it through her mind, which means that it's the way that she saw it in her mind. So of course things might not add up, because when you're thinking things, it's not as linear as when you're seeing it played out that way. She's kind of, you know, we're seeing it through her messed up, distorted mind. So I think if you look at it like that, it can still work and it can all make sense. But I do feel like it might have been kind of a cop-out to do that sort of ending when there's no way you could have predicted it, because there's no way you would start thinking that way, because it wouldn't make sense, because, you know, like I said, in two places at once just doesn't work. But I think if you look at it in the way that I just explained it, it can work. So with that said, that is my review of High Tension. I give this film an 8 out of 10. It's very solid. I highly recommend you check it out. Peace out, guys. We'll see you in day 2.